I'm Anna and you're watching Food Love. Today I've got a bomb shrimp fajita recipe for you with homemade flour tortillas along with a cool cilantro lime yogurt sauce. That's right, it's Fajita Friday, and if you want to see how I make them, keep watching. So I'm going to start by building a marinade for my fajitas. I have half of an onion, half of a jalapeno, and 3 garlic cloves to start. Now I've also got a variety of spices and I will list them in the description box below. I've got the juice of 2 small oranges and 2 small limes, and I have a nice fresh bunch of cilantro. Then I'm going to add everything to a single serve blender cup and I'm going to blitz it until it looks like this. So now I'm going to prep my bell peppers and my onions, which are a must for fajitas. And I have found these little cute mini bell peppers that are multicolored and they're really sweet. I just quartered them and seeded them. I also took a large onion that I halved and cut into slices lengthwise, and here I'm just pulling the slices apart and adding the onions to the bowl with the peppers, and I'm also adding a quarter of the marinade that I made. So I'm just giving this a nice toss, making sure that all of the peppers and onions are well coated with the marinade, and to the side that's going to go until I'm ready for them. Now let's get started with our flour tortillas. So I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. To that I've added some baking powder and 1/3 of a cup of coconut oil that I am breaking up with my fingers into the flour. I also have a very warm cup of water that I've dissolved 1 teaspoon of kosher salt into. And then I will take that water and I will splash that all about the flour, and I will work the flour and the water into a nice dough. Now this dough is really workable, really fluffy and soft. I really love the texture of this dough. I'm going to continue to work it until I have worked it into kind of a rough ball. And then I will take some plastic wrap and I will wrap the dough. I will cover the dough itself and I will let this sit for a half an hour. And then after half an hour, I will start to pull equal pieces from the dough and make little balls. They don't have to be perfect. They look about like this. And I'll let those sit for a while I prep my shrimp. Now I have 2 pounds total of large and extra large shrimp that I have peeled and deveined. I've took the majority of that marinade and poured it over the shrimp, and I'm just making sure that all of the shrimp are nice and coated. And then this is going to go into the refrigerator until we are done with our tortillas and I'm ready to cook off the shrimp. So here, as you can see, I've taken one of the little balls that I made and I flattened it a little with my hand into kind of a little disc, and I'm just here gently taking my rolling pin and rolling the tortilla into roughly a circle. I put it into a hot cast iron skillet, and when it starts to develop bubbles like this on one side, I just flip it over. Now these are fairly small size tortillas, about 6 inches in diameter. I made about 16 of these. I just set them on a piece of aluminum foil, and when I was done making the tortillas, I took another piece of aluminum foil and made a little pouch, and this is where our tortillas will stay until we're ready to assemble our fajitas, and they will stay nice and warm. So in the same cast iron skillet, I've added about a tablespoon of canola oil, and now I'm going to cook off my shrimp, my marinated shrimp. I'm going to make sure that all of my shrimp stay in one single layer because I want my shrimp to get that nice kind of charred color on them, because this is going to give us great flavor. So I would leave the shrimp on one side to cook for at least a minute and a half, and then you can turn them over. And this is ultimately what I'm looking for, this nice color, which is also going to give us some good smokiness. So once this batch is done, I'm going to remove it from my skillet, and I'm going to start all over with another batch of shrimp. once I've developed that great color and my shrimp are done, I'm going to remove those. And into the same cast iron skillet, I'm going to add my peppers and onions. You can see that my pan is really hot. I'm doing my best to keep these in one single layer because I want these to develop nice color as well. I'm going to let those go for a little while, and I'm going to make that delicious cool creamy sauce. So I started with some plain Greek yogurt, and to that I'm going to add a nice bunch of well chopped, very finely chopped cilantro. I'm going to add the juice of a small lime, some ground cumin, and a little kosher salt, and I'm just going to give this a nice mix. And I still have a little of that marinade left over. I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of that to this sauce, and I'm going to mix it, and then this is going to go into the refrigerator until we're ready to assemble our fajitas. So our peppers and onions are just about done. As you can see, they're getting some really nice color. And now that they're done, I'm going to remove these from the skillet, and we're going to plate up our fajitas. So I have some pigeon peas and rice that I made for dinner a couple of nights ago. You can see the flour tortilla, the nice shrimp, and the peppers and onions I'm adding here. I'm gonna add some of that nice creamy cilantro lime yogurt sauce. I have some red onions that I've sliced really thin that I'm going to add here, and of course we have to add some fresh cilantro and a couple of lime wedges, and that's it. Now please subscribe so that you can get all future videos, and until next time, I'm wishing you joy and lots of food love.